My name's Precious.
My name's Kareem.
My name's Dasani.
His name's KJ. And welcome to It's All About the Haskins. Everyone, so today I'm gonna be doing a story time about me finding out I got pregnant at 16, me telling my mom, just all of that, and me going into labor and all that stuff. So let's get started. So we're gonna start when I didn't get my monthly. It wasn't a surprise to me because I wasn't getting my monthly regularly. When I would miss, it was just like, okay, I didn't have my period. Like, it wasn't nothing new. It wasn't a surprise or anything to me. So when I didn't get my period, you know, I'm just like, okay, whatever. But I still wanted to take a pregnancy test to make sure that I'm good. So my friend, she would buy my pregnancy test all the time, and it wasn't like the cheap ones, it was like the $20 ones or whatever. So she would buy them, and you know, she bought a lot. So I would say I took at least 10 pregnancy tests, and I would take them at her house because I didn't want to take them at my house. I didn't want my mom to find the box or something like in the trash, or I don't know, I just didn't want my mom to find out. So I will always take them at her house, and each test that I took came out negative. So I was just like, okay, so I'm not pregnant, like I'm good. I wanted to throw my mom a surprise party, and I did. And that was one of the worst days of my life. Till this day, that was one of the worst days of my life, because that's when everything started, basically. So I went to my best friend's house, and I got dressed there. You know, I had this nice white slim dress on, and I was looking in the mirror, and I'm like, Shannon, like, you know, does it look like I have a stomach? And because I was really skinny, like I was flat, like I was flat. And she's like, yeah, like it's like a little pouch, like it was like really little. And I'm like, do you think I'm pregnant? And she's like, I don't know. And so, you know, I had another pregnancy test, so I took it again, and it was negative. So I'm like, okay, maybe it's just like gas. Boy, if you don't get. So we went to the party, and at the party, everybody was talking about me. They're like, you know, Precious looks pregnant. Do you think she's pregnant? What's going on with Precious? They were asking my friend, like, is she pregnant? You know, you could tell me and all this stuff. And she's like, no, like, no. And you know, my mom came in, everybody's yelling surprise and all this stuff, and then everybody's just talking, like, and it just got back to me that everybody was talking, and I'm just like, I'm not pregnant. Like, we used protection, so, you know, yeah. So my cousin pulled me aside, and she was like, you know, if you're pregnant, just say that you're pregnant, like, you know, it's okay. And I'm like, I'm not pregnant, like, I'm not pregnant. And she's like, okay, whatever. So the whole party, I kid you not, everybody was talking about me, or like it was just bad. And you know, my mom, I got scared because I'm like, okay, like they probably said something to my mom. I know for a fact my mom heard something. So it was just awkward. Plus, at the time, my mom and Kareem, they got into a little fight, so they weren't talking. And she didn't even, when she found out that he was there, like, she didn't want him there or whatever. And I'm like, Mom, come on, like, let him stay or whatever. But, yeah, so once the party was over, my aunts and everybody, they helped us pack up everything and bring it back to my house. So my aunt came inside, and she was like, Precious, like, are you pregnant? And I'm like, no. And she's like, you know what, I'm gonna go out to, I have a pregnancy test, I'm gonna go out and you're gonna take it right here, right now. And I'm like, okay. So then my other aunt, she came to me and she was like touching my stomach and stuff. She's like, yeah, you're pregnant. And I'm like, no, I'm not, but whatever. So then went in the bathroom, took the pregnancy test, and it came out, they watched me take it. They watched me take the pregnancy test and it came out negative. And my mom was like, okay, so we're gonna go to the doctor's on Monday and we're gonna get an ultrasound and see what's what. And I'm like, all right, whatever. So Monday came fast and we went to the doctor's and laid down on the bed. Doctor came out with the little ultrasound stick thingy and rubbed it on my belly, and he was like, and I'm like, what? And he had the monitor facing him, so we couldn't see anything. And he marked up everything, and then he turned the monitor and he was like, you're 6 months pregnant. And I almost had a heart attack laying there. I kid you not, my heart went into my butthole. And I'm just like, what the freak? And my mom, she was like, she started crying and stuff. And it was like, it was real. And, you know, he asked me what I wanted to do, if I wanted to keep it or anything. Like, first of all, it was too late to even do anything. Like 6 months, I was not getting an abortion at 6 months, and I was 16 years old. But I didn't want an abortion anyway. He asked me and I'm like, no. You know, I'm not coming for anybody that had abortions or anything. Like, you have do what you have to do, boo. Period. We went back home and it was awkward. It was quiet. I did not want to be home. And yeah, so then my mom called my great-grandma, rest in peace. And, you know, me and my great-grandma, we were really close. Like, that was my best friend. And my mom was like, come on, let's go. We're getting in a car. We're going to my mom's house. We went to her house and she was sitting outside on the porch. Came walking up there, and, you know, she called me Boo. So she's like, hey, Boo, what's going on? And all this stuff. I'm like, hey, Mama. And I didn't want to tell her. So I'm like, Mom, you tell her. And then my mom took her in the house. And my mom told her, and my great-grandma was crying. She was crying. Like, I heard her crying. She's like, why did she do that? Why did she do that to herself and all this stuff? And my mom's just like, you just gotta talk to her or whatever. The screen door opened so, like, I could hear. And yeah, it was hard. So she came out and then she was just like, why did you do that? You know, you had a lot good going for you and, like, all this stuff. And it was very devastating seeing my great-grandma and my mom like that. So it was hard on me. I just had so much pressure and I was just so emotional, and I'm like, I don't even want to freaking do this anymore. Like, I wanted to run away. Like, it was bad. It was just the emotions that was going through me. And this was in 2013, and I lost my dad in 2011. So I was still healing from him passing and all that stuff. So it was just a lot. But going to school was interesting because everybody was talking about old Precious. So everybody's coming to me, are you really pregnant? People just whispering, I think she's pregnant and all this stuff. Like, I can hear y'all. But yeah, so, you know, people found out that I was pregnant in school, and I was just talked about a lot. But, like, after I found out that I was pregnant, I kid you not, maybe like 2 or 3 weeks after that, I was huge. Like, I was wobbling down the hallway. Like, I was huge. I went from this to, like, this in 3 weeks. Like, I was big. And what brought a lot of attention to me was I had to leave class 5 minutes early because they didn't want me to get bumped in the hallway or anything. And so me getting up 5 minutes early, like before class was over, and everybody's looking at me and like you know, it was just like it was a lot. After those few weeks to a month, it started to get easier. It wasn't too bad. And then, you know, teachers, they would like send me gifts and stuff for Sonny and give me cards and all this stuff. So I would read it at the lunch table and be sitting there boo-hoo crying, everybody looking at me like, this girl. It was hard being pregnant at 16, especially the only one pregnant in school. Well, like obviously, well, yeah, but like I was just, everybody's eyes were on me, everybody. And, you know, going to church every Sunday and people looking at me like, you know, I never expected Precious to get pregnant and all this stuff. Like, me either. Shoot, I'm right with you. But here I am, going on to me having Sonny. It was on my birthday. It was 12 o'clock a.m. and I started to have contractions. And it was bad. Like, I didn't know what was going on. My stomach was killing me. I was on the floor in the ball crying, screaming to my mom, like, get up, da, da, da. She's like, what was wrong? And I'm like, I think I'm having contractions and all that stuff. She's like, okay, I'm gonna call Kareem. So Kareem lived in Lakewood at the time, so he had to catch the bus. So the bus, I think, run every 30 minutes or an hour or something. Like, I don't really remember, but he went to the bus station. He was like, all right, I'm at the bus station. I'm about to get on the next bus. My mom's like, okay. He falls asleep at the bus station 3 times. So I started having contractions at 12. So he didn't get to my house till like 4:30. And I was in pain. I was going off. I was like, it was so bad. And you know, my mom, we got in a car, and the hospital that I chose was an hour and some change away. I don't know why I did that to myself, because that was the longest ride of my life, and it felt like my mom was hitting every pothole there was in the road. So I'm in the car screaming and crying, and my mom's like, okay, I'm trying to miss him, but no, she was hitting him. So we finally get to the hospital, and they check me, and oh, I had to do paperwork and all that stuff, which took forever. And then they finally checked me. I was only 3 centimeters. So they were like, okay, we're gonna see how you're progressing. Give it about an hour, and if you are, then we're gonna admit you. If not, then we're gonna send you home. I was not trying to go back home, so just sat there and waited, and I started to progress and all that stuff. So I ended up being admitted. We got our room and everything, and as soon as we got in the room, I'm like, I want the epidural right now. So they were like, okay, it's gonna be about an hour. Really? So to go through that for about an hour and all this stuff, it was just ridiculous. Then they finally came and gave me the epidural. It didn't hurt at all. It was just pressure, and it was like really cold down my spine or whatever. So it wasn't bad at all. So I got that. I was able to sleep, but I could not eat. The only thing they gave me was ice. I couldn't drink no water. I couldn't even drink the little, like, they had the ice in the cup, you know how like it melt a little bit. I couldn't even drink that little bit of water. They wouldn't let me. I had to sit there and suck on ice. I couldn't have no candy, no Jello, nothing. I was in there starving, shaking, just, I was so hungry. And I was in labor for 24 hours. So it was rough. So after that, doctor came in or whatever, broke my water and all that stuff. That's when everything started to kick in. And then I pushed for about an hour or two, and then Sonny was born at 1:25 a.m. on December 5th, 2013. And that was the best day of my life. I was now a mother, and I had a baby, like a baby, at 17 then. So yeah, 17 with a baby. And from there, it was all good. Like, you know, it was some rough days and all that stuff, but I'm sure every parent went through that, and still going through that. But, you know, I wouldn't trade it in for the world. Like, that's my baby girl, even though she's just bad. But yeah, now she's about to be 6. That's crazy. That was 6 years ago. It felt like it was yesterday. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give this video a thumbs up. Also subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and hit the bell icon to get notified every time we post a video. Comment down below any other video ideas that you guys want us to do, and yeah, so stay tuned for the next video.